The Gauteng Education Department has admitted that it has no money to pay companies that supply it with food for school children. They blame this on the influx of learners into the province. The admission is contained in a letter the department's acting director for the National School Nutrition Program, Busișive Mahlangu, wrote to service providers. SABC News reporter Calvin Dludla has the latest update for us this hour. So, Calvin, what were some of the reasons cited in this letter owing this to the shortage of food in schools?
Good morning to you, Olisi, and to our SABC viewers at home. We are outside Midrand High School. That is where we're waiting for the Gauteng Education spokesperson, Mr. Steve Mabona, to elaborate or engage us more on what is happening here. Because earlier we spoke to the parents. We are from Soweto, a southwestern township in Orlando, to be specific. That is where we engaged parents, and they did mention to us that there is an issue about this nutrition program policy. So now we are waiting for Steve Mabona. The concern for parents is that most of them are saying that they are unemployed in policy. They are not working. So it's difficult for them, extremely difficult for them to actually engage with us. But Steve Mabona from Gauteng Education is with me here. He will be able to tell us more on the way forward and how are they planning to resolve the matter. Mr. Mabona, thank you very much for your time. I see you are running. Thank you very much. Tell us, let's talk about this issue of a nutrition program. Where is the problem?
No, the problem is the budgetary constraints that we are facing and the cash flow challenges. We have adopted a process where we are also feeding children in the quintile 4 and 5s in Gauteng. You will remember that the nutrition program is for no fee paying schools, which will be your quintile 1 to 3. And we will then use the national grant to make sure that those children are fed. But because of the numbers that we are receiving in Gauteng, the socio-economic changes that we see in our province, many parents not affording school fees to a certain extent, that those quintile 4s and 5s, you will see that the payments of school fees is not consistent. And then you identify children that will be coming from vulnerable communities. Some of these quintile 4s, they are situated in areas that were affluent before, economically viable, but now it has changed. So it then compounds to the challenge where, as the province, we then need to take care of these children as well. So that's where we are facing challenges. But we've interacted with our service providers to say we are finalizing the process to make sure that we pay the outstanding invoices to them.
Okay, tell me now. So now, how are you at liberty to tell us how much do you owe them?
Well, offhand, I would not be having that figure, but I know that we are much behind, and we are consolidating just to make sure that we reprioritize, because now is the budgeting process. You'll know that in September in government, it's a budgeting process. You know, some programs will not probably be in a position to exhaust or to utilize their budget, and we will, rearrange and make sure that we facilitate the process of paying the outstanding amounts.
My last question on this is, how bad this is the situation? The reason I'm asking is because kids are about to write their final exam. Parents are concerned that the suppliers might cut food and children will starve.
No, no child will be starving, because in nature, when you do deliveries, they will last for a lengthy period before you then have to go back and give us more deliveries. So the service providers, they will give you probably a month or a month and 2 weeks stock that will then be assisting you. The only thing that they will be on a weekly basis is your perishable food that you will then have to, on a consistent basis, deliver. But the rest, you will still have that stock. So we don't anticipate any child that would not be eating, but we've been in constant liaison with the service providers to say we have committed, we are finalizing the process, and we should be in a position to pay them.
Your former employees, Gauteng Department of Education employees, are convicted. They are at the Johannesburg Commercial Crimes Court waiting for sentencing. Your reaction of the department on those former employees?
No, this is actually an initiative that we took as the department. Investigate through our internal risk processes, investigate those cases, because it was a case of ghost posts that allegedly our employees were generating, and actually they were paying themselves. So they defrauded us over 3.8 million rand. So it's a deterrent if people like that are convicted and they are now waiting for sentencing. Other employees should know that you will not be in a position to conduct any criminality in the department and nothing will be done. So it should be a deterrent, and we're quite happy, about our employees who dedicated themselves into this case. I mean, those employees were taken through the internal process, they were dismissed, but because they were convinced that probably nothing will happen, they continued to appeal. They went to the bargaining council, they went to the labor court, they went to the labor appeals court, and their matter was confirmed. I mean, the labor court said no, the department was correct in dismissing them. So the 7 of them, they are dismissed, and the 2 with an external accomplice, they are waiting for sentencing.
Okay, thank you very much, Mabona.
Thank you.
That was Steve Mabona. He speaks for Gauteng Education. He was just telling us that parents should not panic because kids will not suffer, will not starve as much as they have issues, but they are working hand in hand with the provider so that kids will not suffer or starve at schools.